Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
It seems that we are live everywhere. And count your blessings, count your stones. Um, I seem to be connected. I have not paused. I have not looked like I am looking out of the side of my eye for 10 seconds because last week was hilarious if you watch the playback.
Oh Lord. I mean, it's still early yet. Anything can happen.
Yeah. If you're new here, and if you're not, welcome to Live with Fifi and Freddie. I always start with the L, and then I feel like I'm going to say the wrong thing, and I
I
go,
know.
my brain, my
Think about it.
brain. But welcome back to your Wednesday night conversation. I am Felicia Fifi Minor, and I'm live and in person until the internet says no.
Right. And for those of you that are wondering what the fuck, hi, yeah, still Freddy. Um, if you have not had the pleasure of seeing what I look like outside of drag,
You're
that's what you get.
welcome.
There are reasons for why I am not in face this evening. We'll discuss it later, but I promise this is me. I'm
I
sorry. I am
feel like
pale. I am sorry that I have no contrast. I didn't even put like normally I'll put like a little bit of like foundation and like eyes, and I'm like, no.
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 I wonder what that would look like if I did that. Just foundation and some contour.
Hmm. And nothing else.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe I'll do that next week.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Mm.
It'll be fine. You guys will all adjust. I've looked worse. Anyway, today we have a jam-packed show. Because yeah, as always, we're gonna be talking about, and usually I don't. But
I'm
anyway,
mad because I didn't get screenshots. I'm mad I didn't get
is it
screenshots.
gone?
She deleted all of her shit. All the comments are gone.
Oh. Oh.
I don't know if she blocked me, but like she deleted everything.
Okay, when you're talking, I'm gonna go look.
You should, because I'm mad. I
Mm.
should have gotten screenshots, but I was busy.
'Cause I didn't say anything, but I did text the person that posted the, uh mhm.
Mm,
Anyway, so we'll be talking about the trans umbrella. We've talked about it before, but it seems, um,
being a
that in the
refresher.
scope of things that people have forgotten, and we are here to yet inform you and educate you and bring you into the now because yeah. And we'll talk about dump truck politics along with other things. But quickly in the chat, put something in the chat. Hi, Laura. Hi, DJ Image. Um, First and foremost, if you're watching this, could you share the episode? I like for more people to be in this. If you have friends that may need to know more, I
Mm,
feel like you should send this to them. Yes. If they are trying to figure out the trans community and all the things underneath that umbrella, please send that to them because we're going to get started soon, but I just want that to happen, you know? But also, I have a question for you all, and that is how do you personally identify you yourself? And in what ways do you show up as an ally for your LGBTQ plus siblings?
oh,
As
thank you. My makeup looks great. I know it does. Thank you. Appreciate it.
for once, somebody's talking to me. Um,
Oh, well, that's just rude.
Plus, you've been killing it this season. I have mm-mm, not been. Um, but Anyhow, so we'll talk about this question and more today, but let's do our housekeeping. If you want to be a VIP member to our community, I'm going to use that word a lot. Yeah,
Mhm.
community. Um, you can get exclusive content from us on Patreon. That was a good save. Good save.
Right, right, that's fine.
Mhm, mhm. You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/live with Fifi and Freddy. There you can get the closer look membership, which comes with a sticker after 3 months. But for your best value, you can get merch every 3 months, I think.
I am unsure. I do not know
I
about
don't remember. I set it up a long time ago, so I need a refresher course, I guess. But you can get like a tote bag, sticker, t-shirt, whatever else I selected that they offer. And it doesn't really come at much cost to us. So
which is
I'm
good.
here for it. So, and they ship it out almost immediately. So without me
Hey.
even having to touch it or say anything or try to go find stamps
Oh,
or
Lord.
what else? Or I like to tape things. So there you have it. Hi, Madam Askew. Um, hi, Laura. Um, I'm just, we got to keep things laughable. Um, we'd like to thank our patrons Brandon, Cassandra, Chris and Michelle, Dee, Drake Jensen, and Michael, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Joan, Laura, Leanne, Madam Askew, hi, Madam Askew, and the Grand Arbiter, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Shannon, and William. A huge shout out to Wigs of a Kind, Marissa. Um, this is a Wigs of a Kind wig, except for I
We
think
don't know what
I
that
did
piece is doing. That piece is like revolted. It is staging a
this piece
coup.
here.
I feel like that piece is on strike.
Out of my 20 years of getting wigs from Marissa, has rebelled against me, and I have teased her. I have stuck her back here with bobby pins, and she just still comes out.
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah.
Lucky for me, I like
Just stay with
things.
the other side of your face. Just
I'll just keep sitting
there.
like this.
Perfect. Perfect right
Mhm.
there.
So when Marissa watches this later, or if she shows
Mm.
up a little late, we'll just let her know that I have a new ponytail that I didn't want.
Oh my god, it's like those like 19 like 80s like the rat tail.
Yeah, except
It's like
for
a
it would
rat
be
tail
cute
you can
if
never
the
miss.
whole thing did that, but not just one.
Would it make you feel better? I have enough hair still on the back of my head. If I just like grow it
Oh, no.
out, I can grow out a
No.
rat tail. Are you sure?
No,
Just
thank
the rat
you.
tail. Just
No.
the rat tail.
No. Out of here. Never. I never
Braid
liked
it.
it in the first place. No.
Braid it.
No.
Mm, fine.
Wigs Gone Wild. We've changed the name of Wigs of a Kind to Wigs Gone Wild,
Wigs
yes.
gone wild.
Mhm.
How
That
was
piece
your
retired.
weekend? How was your
Yes, let me go first this time around. You
weekend?
have a lot to talk about.
I
You
didn't
have
do
a
anything
lot
this weekend.
to
I don't know what you're talking about.
so this weekend, we were on a mission because last weekend I think the kids basically drove us
Ugh.
to tears because we had to keep them active. And if you have not lived with young children, you have not lived with young children. They like to keep busy and they get bored. And boredom is fine. I encourage boredom, but when boredom starts to affect me, then I'm like, we gotta go. find something to do. We gotta. I don't care what it is. Anyway, um, so there was a family birthday party. Um, one of the cousins was turning 5, I think. Um, and we went to Uptown Jungle. And if you're not familiar, it's like this place that has like trampolines all over the place
Mm.
and different like activities and things, like a rock climbing wall. And so the kids go for hours. A- When I say hours, I mean hours jumping around, climbing the wall, doing the loop de loop, whatever, playing dodgeball. I think that's in there too. But playing dodgeball on trampolines is much harder.
Oh
Um,
my god, that would be so much fun.
y- yes.
I never really
Uh,
played dodgeball as a kid, so like
what?
it wasn't a thing, not really.
Oh my god, we should do that.
All
Anybody want to play dodgeball?
right, who wants to play dodgeball on trampolines?
Yeah, we can go to Uptown Jungle. We might have to like play with kids that play dodgeball like seriously because they
God,
will take you out.
Jesus.
Anyway, so the kids slept great that night. Um, got up the next morning and we were definitely looking for stuff to do. And then Freddie says, "What about a story hour?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And here I am. This is how I know we can get things done in 15 minutes. Because it was about 10 o'clock when you text me that, right?
Yeah, just about,
And
yeah.
so I wasn't even dressed, but I was like, hell yeah, I got to get out of here. And I'm not sitting here with kids for another day with nothing to do. And
Yeah.
so we made the mad dash and on time, mind you, uh, and made a lickety split to the story
I
hour.
know,
So,
I was quite impressed. I was like, "Oh, look at you. Okay then."
well, I did the weird thing that people are like, you don't have to do that. I often get the like, you don't have to do that. But I set out the kids' clothes. And sometimes I set out my own the night before. So I had already thought like the night before, like, we gotta go do something. So I had set out my clothes, set out their clothes. I don't know. Is that weird? Do other parents do this? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overdoing it. Anyway, but we were ready to go out the door. But you have the bigger news of the situation, the weekend.
So I'll kind of work backwards. So Sunday was drag story hour. I had
Mhm.
drag story hour at Brick Road in a hot minute. And always a good time. And I got to read three fun books. Because a lot of times our story hours have books that are more focused on like they're not deeper necessarily, but they're more sort of
Deeper
like
in thought.
right, like they're about acceptance and so whatever. But I got to read three awesome books that were just fun.
Mhm.
One that was new to me, that my partner randomly got at I think a conference. I think it's called Dandy, and it was super cute, super super cute.
I want that book.
Isn't it cute? Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It was so good. And then We Don't Eat Our Classmates, which we just found out that there's another Penelope T Rex book that just came out, so she's gonna get that one as well. If you're
Oh,
not
wow.
familiar, if you're not
I
familiar
might have that down here.
with We Don't Eat Our Classmates, and you have like little ones around, get it because it's adorable. And then one of my favorite ones to read is The Day the Crayons Quit.
Mhm.
Um, it's it's just fun. It's just fun.
So, one thing I can say is I don't do this well, um, unless in some space or time where I feel like I am, but often the kids will tell me not to do it. But you are great at making the different voices.
Thank you.
I
I
think
try.
kids
It's like
the
that's
kids
that's why
enjoyed
the
that.
that's why the crayon book is so much fun for me because I can play with like there's like
Mhm.
a dozen different voices and it's hard but it's fun.
Mhm.
Um Saturday Um, I didn't do anything. So moving on.
Oh,
So just kidding. So okay, so
I hope she's not watching because.
oh, she is. Okay, so this is this requires a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of a a story, a little bit um
We
because
can
I
give full
announced what
detail on
happened.
Patreon
Right.
if you
Like
feel
I announced it on
the
Facebook,
Facebook.
but didn't really go into detail or whatever. But the plan was we're going to the Ren Fair. We were trying to get the kids to go because it was probably the last time we're going to be able to go this season
Mhm.
because we have Wild West Con and things coming up. So the idea was we want the kids to come with us. But the only way we can get the kids to do anything with us is to lie to them these days, because otherwise they're just like, you want to. So we managed to get two out of the three. One of them, we won't talk about him. But two out of the three went, and we got them to dress up. Our daughter brought two of her friends. They all dressed up, and it was like, we're just going to go, and then we'll let you loose. You can go do your thing. And then our oldest came with his girlfriend who had never been before. She dressed up, and she had so much fun. Um, but our friend Guido uh, is the cardinal, and we went with other friends too because it was like their birthday weekend. Dominic von Strapp and stuff, and so we were, we were there, and um, we always say hi to Guido in the morning because he's always right there, right by the entrance, first thing. And we went and said hi, and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna make your first show sort of our meeting point. So when all of our friends get here, that's where we're gonna meet up because that's easy." So unbeknownst to me, there was a subplot that was happening all behind the scenes here that I had no fucking clue about um at all. But I didn't. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. Apparently this had been in the works in some form or another in for over a month. But I've been in Guido's show a couple of times as as a contestant kind of thing, like someone just kind of banter and get up there and do the thing or whatever. So I get up there, I do the thing, and the topics, it's like a Jeopardy style quiz show, right? So the topics change all the time. So I didn't think anything of any of the ones that were up there. It was like whatever. And one of the topics, one of the categories was
Arranged marriage.
no, it was love and marriage, or marriage and true
Oh.
love, or something. Something. It was
Mhm.
something marriage, something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Which
D, fill
again,
in the blanks, please.
I don't
Thanks.
think about any. It didn't click in my head. It was like no big deal. It was like whatever, right? Because the categories change all the time. So I'm up there, I'm answering questions, no big deal. I get to the end, I win. And I spin the little prize wheel, and Guido makes it land on arranged marriage. And again, I don't think of anything because the wheel is full of random shit. Like it's not like a surprise. Like
There
anything
is a
on there
lot
is
of
not a
stuff on that wheel. I didn't
there's a
realize how
lot of
much
stuff on
stuff.
that wheel. So winning an arranged marriage really was not like a big deal. It was like, oh, look, you added something new, whatever. Like, I don't know. So it was like, no, it didn't, whatever. And so I'm sitting there, and he's like, you've won an arranged marriage. I'm like, yay. And he's like, okay, it's not with this character over here. I'm like, oh, thank God, she's a little crazy. And he's like, but I do have someone in mind. I think you'll like her. And again, this is no big deal because it's like, okay, he's just going with the shtick, right? It's like he's just so. Eh. So D comes up, and I'm like, okay, cool, this is fun, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it like you can see it if you watch the video. I posted the short video on Facebook, but you can see the minute where I'm like, oh, oh shit, what the heck? In fact, I think I actually said, what is even happening right now? And then when my partner got down on a knee, I think I was literally like, "Oh God!" And I think I put my drink down, and I was like, "Okay." And then my partner proposed, and then I said yes, and then whoop de doo, yay! Um, So long story short, I am engaged and we're getting married tomorrow.
Mhm.
Because see, the thing is that if we wait too much longer, then she's going to start to show and it's going to get awkward because she wants to wear white. So we can't wait that long. Otherwise, it's just going to get really, really awkward. And then we're going to have to explain to people why she's in a white wedding dress. So it's just like,
I've been
so,
to those weddings. It's fine.
so before shit happened today, um, my tip was going to be how to plan a wedding in 4 days because that's literally what we've done. Um, but
Mhm.
it was I told my partner that this changes nothing because it's already been proven that she cannot keep a secret. So the fact that she managed to keep this secret for over a month changes nothing. Um,
What
but
do you mean?
I no, she still can't keep a secret. This was a fluke. This was a one-off. This is not a regular thing. I do not trust the fact that she managed to keep it. Mm. Um, but it was so cool because we kind of co-opted like our friends like birthday weekend and managed to get a bunch of our other friends, and her sister was there, and like friends of ours that like work at the Ren Fair were there at the proposal and everything, and they all knew what the hell was going on but me. The kids didn't know. She surprised the
Mhm.
kids. I guess she told the kids while she was sitting there that she was gonna propose, and it was, yeah, both of them were like a mess. So yeah, that was.
Well, I knew after the show, so I wasn't involved in the whole month planning. The surprise to me is she thought that I couldn't keep a secret. I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I don't know that she's known that you've been involved in surprises before.
Yeah, and, like,
But it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, we are getting married tomorrow. For a number of reasons. The one of which is tomorrow is our actual like anniversary of our first date, and
mhm.
we didn't want to have like another anniversary date because it's like um so we're getting married tomorrow. Small, intimate, nothing crazy.
Mhm.
Um Plus, with all the bad shit that's happening, this is something good that's happening.
The dump
And
truck.
all right, and then for practical reasons, because legal paperwork and all of that shit, which is stupid, but this was actually almost easier than trying to get a whole bunch of other paperwork together. It's
The
dumb.
convenience of it
Um,
all.
right. But so yeah, so we have like a little space that we rented out. We have a handful of friends coming. We have cupcakes and things, and we're just gonna do
Now, do you
a
have a registry?
no, I didn't think
Or
about
do
it.
you want specific gifts? I'm
Uh,
asking for me because I'm still looking for the perfect something, but I haven't
no idea.
found.
And honestly, like tomorrow is sort of more of like a placeholder. Um, Next year, March 13th is actually Friday the 13th,
Which is
which
fitting for
is
the both of you.
it's the day we had our first date. We had our first date Friday the 13th, March 13th, 2020. That was our first date. So
Wow.
we'll be planning a sort of
And hopefully a
bigger.
pandemic doesn't start after this anniversary.
You're welcome. Maybe it'll kill off the people that it needs to kill off this time, because everybody's so anti-vaccine. Um, Maybe it'll mutate just enough. But we're planning like a big, more sort of proper, like not formal, but formal in the sense of like more of a wedding kind of feel next year, um, on our anniversary. So whatever that looks like, we don't know yet. We have
It's
no
a
idea.
surprise.
Right. Which will probably be planned 2 weeks in advance. It's fine. Not a problem. Not a
Oh,
problem.
boy.
So yeah, so that was
And you have a con you're getting ready for.
And I told her, I said, this is very inconvenient because now we have, like, because we're both off tomorrow so that we can do a
Uh-huh.
little bit of running around and get to the thing. But I'm like, this is very inconvenient because now we've lost an entire day when we're supposed to be working on shit. So this was very poor planning on your part. Maybe next time, not when we're so busy. It would be a great way to, not, but it's fine.
Mhm.
Uh, but it was no, it was good. Do I feel any different? No, not really.
Well,
A
marriage
lot of
isn't
people.
supposed to change you, but
Well, they're right.
it
The only thing that's
does.
different is that now our daughter is like, oh, I can officially call you my papa after tomorrow. Like, okay.
Oh, it took a piece of paper?
Apparently, well, she calls me her stepdad. I mean, we've been together for 5 years, so it's like, you know, Um, so
I know.
I'm basically already a stepdad. Tomorrow will just be official and shit. So, but yeah, so it was a good weekend. It had some surprises. It takes a lot to surprise me,
It does.
like to that extent. Like it really does.
Very good, D. Very good.
Um,
We'll
and
have to talk about
with
this not trusting me with a secret, though.
and with planning something bigger next year, it'll give us a chance to invite people that weren't able to make it up for tomorrow, since it was kind of short notice. It's kind of short notice for me too. um
But
uh
you'll be there, I hope.
I'll think about it. I have to check my schedule. See what my Google Calendar says. According to Google Calendar, I'm very busy right now, so I don't know.
Will you
But
be in the Gulf of America?
maybe. But
Mm.
for next year, we'll be able to plan something bigger and actually, be able to have folks save the date and, plan on coming, and whatever, folks are out of town or whatever. So, because there's a few people that I would love to invite that definitely would not be able to make it out here by Thursday. Like that's,
Well, I think
so
that some of the people that you need to invite, need to come by plane
right.
or
And that's, that's the thing. So yeah. We
far
tried to at
away
least make sure that
distance.
everybody within a reasonable distance was at least invited, even if we knew that the chances were they probably weren't going to be able to either make the drive or whatever. It's like, we just want to know that we want you to know that you were invited and that we were thinking of you being a part of this. You know what I mean? So next year it'll be
Even
better.
better.
Um, Madam Askew, you are working away like crazy.
Sorry.
I hope that you have my pieces done already. So I'm assuming you have my entire
And
outfit done by now.
and since, you're working, you could just make an outfit for me. No measurements
Oh,
required.
see,
Just eye
I
it.
mean,
Just
as
eye
long
it.
I'm right. I mean, it's how, if you make one thing, it must be just as easy to make two or three, right? Just
I mean, it's that easy, right? Mhm.
apparently, we can
Mhm.
pay you in 5 exposures.
Yes, we'll just keep saying your name over and over. Maybe we'll do a whole episode where just say your name the whole
All
time.
we do is just, yes, that's all we do.
Mhm.
So we just promote Madame Askew for an entire episode. That should count as at least 6 exposures. At least 6 exposures. So yeah, that was my weekend. All in all, it
She
was it
says,
was a
"Oh,
very
no."
eventful weekend. That's just rude.
Oh, no.
Um
It's not, "Oh, no." It's, "Oh, yes."
um
Uh-huh.
so like I said, my tip tonight was going to be how to plan a wedding in 4 days. And then the
Oh, you don't want your
interwebs
intro?
went to shit. So no, go ahead, play the intro.
Oh, I lost it.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
there it goes. I'm very proud of these intros.
they're very nice. I'm
Yeah.
proud of them for you. Um,
Good for
okay,
you.
so my tip tonight, we're gonna talk about the trans umbrella
There's an
because
umbrella?
mm, apparently there is still some lack of understanding about the word transgender. who can and cannot be transgender, what it actually means, and what it takes to be really trans. These are all things that someone literally said today.
Mm. Um,
Terms like
oh, I was
really
gonna look that up.
trans, does not present as trans. There were things I'm like,
Well,
mm,
first and foremost, the person said um, that non-binary people were uh, pretending
right,
essentially to be trans people, and if
right,
you're not on hormones, then you can't be a trans person
hmm,
of the trans experience.
right. So,
When
like,
many of the people that were commenting were of the trans experience.
right, but she was just this person was just like, well, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But that aside, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to get rid of any vocabulary that looks or sounds anything like not trans enough. You must do XYZ to be really trans, etc., etc. Just get rid of it. Dump it, get rid of it. All of it. It's not a thing. I feel like we have to revisit this at least a couple times a season in some way or another because some asshat decides to open their mouth, and it's usually somebody trans, decides to open their mouth and immediately put their foot in it right up to their knee.
Just an
So
update. You just
yeah,
probably
no, this
went
person,
off.
we do not like this person. I don't even know who this. I don't even know who this bitch is. She is not invited to tea. She is not invited to the table. Like, I, I was as nice as I possibly could have been. And I
So
could have
this
gone,
is a direct quote from the comment. It says, "I mean, truthfully, if you haven't had any kind of surgery and hormone therapy and not or
and,
and
and.
hormone therapy, you aren't trans. Non-binary doesn't equate to trans either. A person who dresses as the opposite sex but takes no measures to transition isn't trans either. They are cross dressers."
Now, I'm
I
just going to
could
point
read
out
on,
before I,
but that was the part that was like, "Huh?"
right. I'm just going to point out too that at some point she calls me a cross dresser and said something
She
about to the
also
fact that I,
called somebody else that we know a cross dresser and that they
right.
don't speak for
I'm
the
like,
trans experience.
said that, called me a cross dresser, said that I would never be trans, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, Lord, okay, here we go. I said, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna mansplain this real quick because you're not fucking getting it. I am in fact a trans man. I have in fact been on hormones for more than a decade. I have had multiple gender affirming surgeries, and then she backpedals and says, "Oh, you think I didn't know? You have breast removal scars and feminine features." Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna talk about some things tonight, just to
And
educate the
if
masses.
you hear something and you want to share this episode with a friend, please go ahead and do so as we're doing, because I feel like um, many in this comment thread should be tagged.
I, mm,
Don't tag the
okay.
person, though. Don't tag that person.
Oh,
Don't,
go
don't
ahead
do
by all means. That'd be kind of funny. All right. So the term transgender literally means that you do not identify with the sex that you were assigned at birth. That is what the word transgender means.
Mhm.
It's the umbrella term that covers all sorts of identities, including but not limited to trans man, trans woman, non-binary, agender, bigender, two-spirit, transmasculine, transfeminine, etc. Like there any identity where the individual does not fully identify with the sex that they were assigned at birth is covered under that umbrella term as transgender.
Mhm.
That's all the transgender means. I have no idea who this bitch was. She just came up out of fucking nowhere and
I
decided
know who
to
she
run her
is.
mouth. No, and and her profile. has the audacity to say that she's a safe space for trans folks and non-binary folks and women and children. I'm like, bullshit, you are. Not a fucking no, you're not. Anyway, since we're talking about definitions, just to be clear, the term cisgender literally means that you identify with the sex that you were assigned at birth. So
And
you
you're
were
living
born,
that experience.
right? You were born, doctor looked at you and said, that's a boy, and you grew up and said, yes, you're correct. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a slur, which a lot of our cis friends have gotten all like, oh,
Or don't use cis around me. Okay.
it's like, okay, well, what would you prefer I call you? Because cis is literally what you are. You are a cisgender person. Idiots. Now, someone can identify under the trans umbrella and choose to either medically transition, that means hormones, surgeries, etc., socially transition, which can mean things like a name change, pronoun change, or how they present, both, or neither. So I'm going to say that again. Someone can identify under the trans umbrella and choose to either medically transition, socially transition, both, or neither.
Mm.
This is a very important thing. That
Mm.
Also, drag does not equal trans, because this person was coming for everybody and their mother and making no damn sense. Drag performers can be trans, but not all trans people do drag, and not all drag performers are trans. Drag performers can literally be any identity and perform any style of drag.
So there's a question, and it's a valid question. Uh, Laura is asking, so is she a cis lesbian? I would say that lesbian is not a gender identity,
It's
but I
not a
could
gender
be
identity, but if
wrong.
you identify as a lesbian as well as the sex that you were assigned at birth, then yes, you are a cis lesbian.
Okay,
Um,
there we have it.
Ben Havoc says makes a good point. He said they say to me, the trans experience isn't always about the end goal. It's about the journey. Keep evolving at your own pace. My personal experience as a non-binary person. They are non-binary.
But
And therefore
okay,
do
so
not exist. So don't pay any attention to anything that Ben Havoc says.
I don't say that. Anyway, what I want to say is that if this person would just take off the blinders for a minute and replace something else with this. So we're talking about the trans umbrella. And I don't equate this to this experience, but I say that it's similar to. Let me say that again. I don't equate this to that experience, but I think it's similar to. Black. I'm a black person. I
As am I.
uh, we've
Oh
had
wait,
an
no,
episode.
no.
Watch yourself. But we do not all have the same experience. We do not all like the same kind of music. We do not all insert here.
You don't even like watermelon, do you?
No.
You don't
Ugh.
see, no.
So like I don't fit a stereotype. I definitely don't fit a lot of stereotypes. If you watch the show long enough. Um so like when this person just persisted, I just got this overwhelming sense of like just because you identify, you need to be blank. I couldn't figure out what the blank was, but
According to that person, you have to identify within the binary and have be on hormones and have surgeries. Like
we've
that's,
also
you know.
talked about how this, for centuries has been a thing,
Oh, trust me,
among
I'm getting
among
there.
not just us.
Mm.
So
So she also brought up cross-dressing and other things. Now, cross-dressing is generally a type of fetish. We talked about this last week, which is primarily seen with cisgender men who enjoy wearing women's clothes or underwear as part of a sex act or encounter. It's usually cross dressers, not always, but often cross dressers are it's usually a part of some sort of sexual thing. It's usually classified as a fetish. Occasionally a kink, but more often a fetish. People who identify as cross dressers generally are not trans. It does happen on occasion where you find an individual who does identify as a cross dresser, but it's more that they're kind of testing the waters about, living authentically. Maybe they might feel some type of way about their gender identity, but they are unsure about it. But that is, I think that is a little bit more when we're talking about actual cross dressing. That's a little bit more rare. Cross dressing is looked at as a fetish or a kink and more sexual in nature. Um, so why she just threw out all these fucking terms and not so people who identify within the binary, that would be people like myself. I identify within the binary. I am a trans man. I
mhm.
don't always like to, especially if I'm in drag, like I will play with sort of the presentation a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I very rarely go full femme drag, but I will play with it a little bit. But
Gender
I
fluidity.
I do not feel like gender fluid would probably be a little closer, but even then, not really. But I identify
Mhm.
within the binary as a trans man. Most trans women identify within the binary for themselves. But the people who do identify within the binary do not, I'm going to say this again, they do not need to be on hormones or have surgeries to be really trans. There are a host of reasons why folks don't do either, and their identities are still valid. Some people have, okay, let's we're going to talk about trans men for a second here. So there are AFAB individuals that are folks that are assigned female at birth who have a naturally high level of testosterone. These
Mm.
individuals can often grow facial hair and things without additional hormones. So that's not something they necessarily have to worry about. Some people are naturally flat chested and don't really care about things like top surgery. They don't really find it's a necessary thing. That's not where their dysphoria is. They're fine with the way their chest looks. They don't really care. Um, there are health reasons and contraindications with medications and other potential disorders and things like that where hormones are not recommended. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna. But apparently, though, according to this person, if you have a doctor's note, then it's fine. But that's not a thing.
But how would they know that?
Well, apparently you have to present more trans, which I think means I have to wear my vulva on the outside of my clothing, and you have to have your doctor's note on you at all times to be able to show other trans people that you have a doctor's note as to why you cannot be on hormones.
But also, there are people out there that are coming after us that say, if you don't have the full on,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not trans. You're just because.
Well, even then, they say you can't change biology, you can't change DNA, and blah blah blah. It's like, all right, well,
And this person also blamed, uh, I say us, but I didn't comment, um, that that we all that were. as I was reading, that all of us who consider this non-binary, I say
Are
this.
her comments still there? Can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
Can you
Uh,
screenshot? Because she must have blocked me because they've all disappeared.
yes. You want me to
Just so that
screenshot it
it's
with your paragraphs in
yeah,
there?
all the things. Yeah, just screenshot all the things. Just because
It's
I
easier
can't
to
do it now because she blocked me because she didn't like what I had to say, which I think is funny.
it's easier to
Um,
there's 11 replies between the two of you, so this may take a
so
while.
between you take your time. Um, and then there are NB folks who may or may not choose to have surgeries or take hormones. I know non-binary folks, gender fluid folks, whatever, who have chosen to have a surgery that helps them feel more like themselves. That could be top surgery, could be breast implants, could be whatever it is, could be a hysterectomy, could be a vasectomy, whatever it is that makes them feel more comfortable in their own skin. I know a lot of NB folks who microdose or even take a full dose of hormones, regardless of what those hormones are. And it has nothing to do with making them more trans or less trans or more non binary or less non binary. One thing has nothing to do with the other. Nothing to do with the other. Non binary folks, folks who identify outside of the gender binary, can be AFAB, that is, they can be assigned female at birth, they can be assigned male at birth, they can present as either masc or more femme or both or neither. There are no rules. It
Oh,
is all
yeah.
about how you feel inside, and they do not owe society androgyny, which seems to be a thing. Obviously, this person must be non binary because they are giving me androgyny. It's like, well, no, that's not, or you're not androgyn enough to be non binary. That's not how that works.
Where's the one where she told oh, there it
No,
is.
like, there is no. If you are looking at someone and you're going to assume that they identify within the binary because they have a beard or because they present more feminine, that's on you, that's not on them. And if they tell you that their pronouns are they, them, or whatever it is, it's not up to you to tell them, well, no, that can't be right because you're wearing a dress. It's like, NB folks can use they, them pronouns. They can use like he, they, she, or any combination of whatever fucking pronouns they want or something completely fucking different. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If someone identifies as non binary and they're comfortable with any pronoun and they tell you that they're comfortable with any pronoun, then use any pronoun, whatever. If they tell you that they are comfortable with they, he, or he, they, or she, they, try to respect that. Don't just assume that they are, because they look specifically mask, that you must use he all the time because otherwise it's just you get around. Like, no, just fucking, just.
I think I got most of these.
Thank you, Felicia. Like, this is not difficult. And genders that are outside of the binary have been around for longer than the written word. So if you think that it's a new fad, which I've heard that, I don't know how many times, like that it's new, do
We're
a
all
little
new.
research.
We're all
Do
new.
a little fucking research so you don't sound like an ignorant jackass.
Drag queens
It's
just
really
appeared out
fucking
of
easy.
nowhere. Trans people
I
just appeared out of nowhere.
and look, I'm the
Gay
first to
people
admit,
are new.
I talk about my privilege a lot. I talk about, struggles and things. And I remember when met my first like out sort of non-binary person who used they them pronouns. It took me a second because it wasn't something that was commonplace for me at that time. It's like I think now there's more because there's more language and I think there's more community in a lot of ways. I think people are are more comfortable identifying outside of the binary, which I think is wonderful. 20 odd years ago, not so much.
Mhm.
Not to say that non-binary people didn't exist, but I think that it was easier now than it was 20 years ago. Um,
As for a lot of
and
things.
right. And I remember it took me a little while to get this person's pronouns down, but it wasn't for lack of like, oh well, they look XYZ ways, so I'm just gonna ignore pronouns. It's like, no, it's because this isn't the norm for me,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna make it work because I'm a decent fucking human being. Like,
Mhm.
you know, and Madame Askew says, I feel like believing people when they tell us who they are is the minimum level respectful. And that is exactly it. Don't argue with someone when they tell you who they are, unless there's something really fucking stupid. Like, don't do that. But, like, there's, I do a lot of educating on this subject. And most of it is for folks that are outside of the LGBTQ plus community, so that people
But it
outside of the
sounds like we
community
need
can
it on the
have
inside.
a better understanding of things. Let me tell you, when I have to educate people in the community over and over again, it gets to the point where I stop being nice about it. It is 2025. Like, y'all need to get with the fucking program. There is ignorance and there is willful ignorance. And at this point, if you are in the LGBTQ plus community, you have trans friends. We have fucking Google. You are out at the bars. You are around us all the fucking time. And you know that you are around us all the fucking time. There is no excuse for the type of absolute willful ignorance and bullshit that we saw today. There is no excuse. And I don't want to hear, often we hear like, oh, well, they're a trans elder or whatever. It's different by that. No, 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 no. No. In
I feel
fact,
like there are
as
some
a
that
as a
have
trans elder,
learned.
you should know better. Because as a trans elder, and when I say trans elder, I mean someone older than myself who, because I mean, I'm almost 46. So someone that older than myself
Mhm.
who has had to, deal with the struggles of trying to live authentically, you know, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, like they should know better. Using age as an excuse to be a shitty human, we're done with that now. We're done with that now. There's no reason for it. There are people that are my age that are claiming, well, I'm too old to blah blah blah. No, 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 no. If my like 80, how old is he now? 88,
Oh, damn.
80, 88. I think 88-year-old father. If he can manage to get names, pronouns, all of that shit, if he can get that right, y'all have no fucking excuse because he is an old cis het white dude with kind of sketchy views on some things. But if he can get my name and pronouns and all that shit right,
Mhm.
there is literally no excuse for anyone else. And if you try to tell me that you are 40, 45, 50,
Set in your
and
ways.
you can't, you're just too old, blah blah blah, that, no,
Or what's the
we're
one
we're not going to
that I
use
hear
that as an
sometimes?
excuse anymore.
This generation always just comes up with XYZ, and I can't understand why XYZ can't just be
Mm-mm,
what it is.
mm-mm.
Mhm.
None of this is new, and
In
y'all should
fact,
know better.
when you research it, there's stuff that shows you that this isn't new.
Mm,
Western culture has, I just wanna say, strangled the education of, um, others and continues to do so. So,
The idea of only two genders is a colonizer view, 100%. And as a white dude that like I'm a white cis assumed dude, and I have no problem calling out other white folks for the bullshit that we
mhm.
no no. And
But you're
we're
also the first to ask questions like, "Is
I,
this mm,
like
you
there's
know?"
times when I'm like, oh, I don't know about this song. Can I do this song? Are these lyrics okay? I have literally asked people that. Like, there's a couple things like that. I was like, is this okay for me to do? And they're like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Like, because like when it comes to drag, I think the general consensus, and correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
um, but the general consensus is white folks are fine doing like music by black artists, Whitney and Janet and whatever, as long as the song itself is not specific to the black experience.
correct.
So, like, I would not do something like Rhythm Nation or They Not Like Us. I would not do that as a drag number because then I would never be able to show my face in public again.
Or when people do like Erica Badu, her music is clearly of the experience, and you go,
Right. And like
"Do I?"
I will listen to that shit all day long. Performing it, no. Like I have some mixes that have some like 90s like hip hop and stuff in there, but it is nothing that is like specific to the black experience. I made sure of that stuff. I am so careful about that shit.
And especially if
Um
it has the N word in it.
oh god, no, Jesus Christ.
And
I think I have
see
one
people just
I
go,
have one song that has the N word in it that I've edited out, but I made sure that it wasn't one of these. It was it's CeeLo Green Crazy. So it's
"Mhm,
not it's like it's because a lot of times
not
it's
necessary."
right. And a lot of times with when it comes to rap and things, it's very
Yeah,
much
if you
about the
take the
black
word out,
experience
it
and
becomes
right.
like,
Right.
"What?"
I'm like, no, we're not going to touch that. But with this one, I'm like, I think I can take that out and be safe. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. But yeah, it's this basic shit, guys. Like this is like, I mean, this is. Uh,
So I hope you
anyway,
learned something today, and
I'm
if you came in
available.
if you
For
came in at the
educating.
end, just go ahead and, you can rewind it while we're live, I think, on most platforms, um, and start from the beginning. Uh, Also, you can subscribe to our podcast so you can get these updates on a regular basis. Um, Also, if you have an employer or you like to get a group of friends together, Freddie and Teddy Michael have um, an incredible like workshop that they can teach you
We do. We
more
have a
things.
couple. We have like a 101 and like a 102 kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like, if you, I know we're not calling it DEI anymore, but if you need training, we'll just call it that, then, just go ahead and contact them and be educated, do better. That's all. Let's get on to the more trashier things that are happening in the world.
Only a few though, so I think we kind of purposefully kept like news a little bit short because I knew we were going to go over with all the other shit. So
Y- yes. So first and foremost, in the WTF, before I get to the other things, I don't know if Gabe is on here, but I'm not showing like profiles or anything. But I'd like to share. Gabe posted this. Where did it go?
Gabe is one of our regulars.
Yeah. Posted this and said, "This is groceries on $107." Now, I don't know about you, but I feel this feeling as well. And even if I don't buy name brand or don't buy snacks or like the unnecessary things, I have been coming very close to like 100 easy.
Oh, I don't think we ever go grocery shopping and spend less than like 150 anymore. Like if it's not, I don't think it's possible. And you end up with about that much. You get
You're
like
like,
3 pieces of bread and some peanut butter. Here you go. Like,
now circa 3 years ago,
oh
even
God.
before the pandemic, um $100 would do me just fine, and I could probably fill that whole cart.
Yeah.
So this is where we are. And when people are like, "I don't have any money," I'm like, "It's not just you. Things are getting really expensive. It's not
Yeah.
just you."
I will say we went to the Asian market because we were down that way for dinner the other night, and we decided to go into the market because I had to get a couple things anyway. We were like, well, let's go look at veggies and see if veggies are cheap because we have pigs, right? So, um, and we got like $40 worth of vegetables and walked out with like massive like bags of veggies. I was like, well, Jesus, maybe we'll just gonna drive to the east side. We don't need to go grocery shopping. God.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
Yeah,
I'll have to try that out.
yeah, like fresh veggies, like a bunch of them. It was like $40. It was crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My thing is I love the deal, but I don't want it to go bad. So I'd probably get less
Well, depending on
things.
what you get, you can blanch and freeze them.
Oh, true, true.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mm.
We like to save money here. If you
Mm. Mm.
if you have not met us, um, we like to save money here. I'm one person and I pay 150 per pay period.
That's a
Well,
lot. That feels like a lot. Yeah.
that
I never
seems like
spent
a
that
l
much when I was by myself. Like I never spent that much.
I probably spent like 50 bucks a week
I could
all
spend
said.
like $100 and be good for like a month on groceries for
But
me,
that was
just
like
for me when I was living by myself.
mm.
Damn kids.
I'm interested to see. Okay, so is that for hmm, I want to know what's in your basket. I'm being
I
very
should the
forward.
next time we go grocery shopping, we should kind of like we should
Yeah,
like kind
take
of
a picture
track it,
like
look at our
Gabe
receipt
did.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah, and see with how much we end up spending and what is in our cart because that would be interesting to do that. We'll see if we can do that for and if it's
Pull that
like
off.
yeah, it's like not a lot of like because we don't buy a
Um
lot of ton of snacks and extras and
The
things. So
next
like
time
what's
I buy a lot of snacks because I have little people, and sometimes that's how you fight them off.
here's you any snack? He was like, go get it.
Yes, exactly. Um, I don't even know how to get into this next one. So AI, it's a thing. It's very popular, especially in the world of technology. I use it every day at work. So tech is just growing, and the Arizona Supreme Court has implemented two AI court reporters. Let's meet.
I'm all
I
about
buy
this.
snacks because I buy snacks because late at night I snack on things instead of eating like whole dinner. Like after a show, I don't
Mm-hmm.
really feel like eating, so snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. AI. Let's meet our
Yeah.
friends here, Daniel and Victoria, who are supposedly programmed to pop up with short and informative and easy to understand explanations of complex legal issues. What
Mind you, this is in Arizona. This
possibly
is the Arizona Supreme
go
Court.
wrong?
These are our two. New AI court reporters.
Huh. Huh.
I okay.
I'm scared.
I don't. It's fine.
It's gonna be fine. Maybe we should do the show AI. Just record ourselves and then we fill in the show script and then it'll just be a show.
Just do it. That would be kind of funny.
And if my AI gets frozen, nobody would ever know because that's what I do on a regular basis.
Uh,
So anyway, so we can't go a day without talking about dump truck. This is what I haven't missed about dump truck.
we're
Um,
only 6 weeks in. Yay.
yay. 52 days or something, he says, but that doesn't math very correctly. But I digress. 52 days, 35, I don't know. You decide. Math is your thing, I guess. Madam Askew, before we go on, is very opposed to generative AI, but I'm especially
Mm,
opposed to having the bigotry baked into legal fake expert. Uh, it's
I
supposed to it's supposed to be non-objective, but
right.
I have found that there are some things that are, like you say, programmed in that are not very objective. So, like when you tell it to write like a drag queen, it, yeah. Anyway, it takes all the cliches and throws them into a sentence and it says, "This is what you mean," right?
Oh,
So I haven't been able
yeah.
to use it that well for me.
There.
Um,
Okay, so I will say that there are some applications that make sense for AI,
mhm.
like things that are technology based, things that are like these. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we're this is this is the future, and it is what it is. So there are like things that make sense for artificial intelligence, computers, things like that to be doing.
I will
What
tell
we
you.
have them doing is like the fuck.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. No, okay. No. We're fine. We're fine. Thank
She's fighting
you.
back. She's like, "What? You're talking about my
I
friend
didn't
AI?"
mean it. I am so sorry. I didn't mean
Alexa is
it.
revolting.
Thank you so much for all that you do. I
Mine
appreciate
hasn't gone
you.
off. That's interesting.
It's fine. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Wow. Why does yours always listen to us? So
Just
scary.
just keep going. It's fine.
Okay, dump truck has turned the White House into a Tesla dealership. I watched this morning and I thought it was hilarious.
I
Um, can I tell you what's hilarious before I read it on?
yes.
This is the man that in his previous presidency was mad that we were going to electric vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
that was determined to get the pipeline from where we
Mm-hmm.
have it to where we have it to
Mm-hmm.
go directly, and that when we get it from overseas that it's going to
Yep.
be the main thing that
We don't
sources
want
our.
electric vehicles. Go get
Yeah,
your big ass trucks with your diesel fumes.
yeah. So that's what's funny to me, as
I,
he's in this red Tesla and saying, I swear by Tesla and um, that you need to get a Tesla today. And so he's encouraging folks to get a new Tesla as Tesla stocks are plummeting hard,
and it's
hard.
glorious to see. I love it. I love it so
Well,
much.
because some of us were willing to get past the stupidity, and then, you know, he pops up in office and tells us, "Oh, we're cutting all these things, and we're doing this, and we're doing that," you know? And so, he encouraged all his, people that think that America's not great to go make Tesla great.
Which I can just see like all the MAGA idiots going, uh, do we get rid of our Ford, or what do we do now? Do we go out and buy a Tesla, or I don't know. Do I get rid of my truck? What am I supposed to do with this now? I thought he said don't buy electric vehicles. I'm not supposed to be saving the environment. That's a myth.
Mhm. 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 Meanwhile, this is the same president that is asking for us to chop down national parks.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody? Does it make sense yet? No, not going to. Sorry. Anyhow, um, but this is definitely a funny one and kind of in so don't tell any of them, but this is kind of going on the liberal side of the agenda though. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's funny. It's funny. Save the earth, but chop it down. I don't know.
Mm.
It's funny. Um, did you also know? Um, hmm, I'm having a hard time with these. Uh, okay, you go work on wedding stuff. We'll be here trying to tell you that Dump Truck has also said that he will label any violence against a Tesla dealership as domestic terrorism. Now, you remember, was it in January?
Mm.
Um, one of the Tesla trucks got set on fire, or a bomb blew up in it, one of the two. Um, was it in front of a Trump hotel?
I think so.
So that happened.
So
So,
also let's just so violence against Tesla dealership, domestic terrorism, storming the Capitol and
not
putting police officers'
not
lives
the
at
same
risk,
thing.
killing one police
Not the same
officer.
thing.
That not
Definitely not the
domestic
same thing.
terrorism.
Definitely not the same thing. This is way
It
more
makes sense to
violent.
me. I mean, I get it. I totally
This
get
is way
it.
more violent.
The
This is
way, yeah. I mean, that's much more of
so
like a,
dramatic.
yeah, definitely. Like I get it. I get it.
Pro I'm
Yeah.
I'm pro-life, and, people lost their lives at a Tesla dealership.
But Tesla's lost their lives. Tesla's lost their lives and lost.
Look here, I don't write the news, it's just the way it is.
We're
Also,
living in idiocracy.
we are, and people are okay with it. Something also that made me chuckle was Twitter had or whatever, X, it was down for a couple hours this week.
Oh, it's down for a good chunk of the day, I thought.
Yeah, because it got not just one cyber attack, it had 3 cyber attacks. So,
I really need like anonymous. I need these hackers to really like start fucking shit up. Like y'all want to like this is your time. This is your time. If you are a hacker, do your thing. Get in there. Like get with your buddies and your pals and fuck
mm,
shit up.
mm, make it like a
Please.
nightclub. Just mess it up.
Please just fuck shit up. Like
Just
uh,
having a good time is what we're encouraging here. And since um, Dump Truck is encouraging you to get a Tesla, this is all, just liberation. I just think that's what it is, right?
mhm.
No? No? Just me? Okay. Okay. In funnier news, Canada has responded to dump trucks' tariffs by throwing their own 25% surcharge on the electricity it provides to the North and the Midwest of the United States. Um,
Ah,
which
sorry.
somebody said that it like would make the electricity just a little expensive. Not like summertime expensive, but
And I say that my dad is on Social Security. He lives in Michigan. I'm pretty sure he would be affected by this,
mhm.
and I'm all for it. I am so excited for all the shit that Canada's doing. They're like, oh, you think you're gonna put
Taking the
tariffs on
take
us?
oh, we'll take your liquor off of our
Mm-hmm.
shelves.
Yep.
So we Drake Jensen, great guy, uh, supports us on Patreon. Um, very much like buy Canada. Another person I follow on Instagram is very much buy Canada.
I'm all for it. I really am.
What I'm
I
what I'm not sure of is I think that Canada is a little more independent than we are. I need to do my
probably.
research, so don't go quoting me all over the place, but I almost feel like it.
Oh, and one more thing to kind of hit headlines in the last day or so is, and this affects folks that travel, Southwest is doing away with their free
Oh, yeah.
two bags, which is funny because they said that they need more revenue. I think what they're going to find is I'll give them a year, and then
I will not
they're
carry
going
it.
to, there's no way. That was like pretty much the only reason that people flew Southwest was their
Correct.
baggage policy.
And they're doing
Now,
us and as you know, they're doing assigned seating now. They wanna
yep, they're doing
be
assigned seating. And at this point, I think they're going to find that they may need the revenue, but I think they just shot themselves in the
well,
foot.
look at Madam Askew already said.
Yep, and that's and I think I've been seeing a lot of privilege being thrown around in regards to this
Let's
today.
say
People are like, well, just get the Southwest credit card. If you get the Southwest credit card, and if you fly more than 25 times a year, then blah blah blah. I was like, okay,
my
well,
credit
not
report does
everybody has that
not
much
let me do
disposable
that.
income. Not
Okay.
everybody is in a position to be able to get a credit card. So, like, that's why Southwest was popular for their baggage policies and the open seating.
Mhm.
And you're
And
going to get rid of those things, except for
I
the
would let
people that
you
either fly business class or have a credit card. Eh, nope. Well, fly
mhm.
something else, because that means that Southwest is no longer going to be like, and wasn't necessarily the cheapest option anyway. But a lot of times, comparatively, once you add in baggage fees, it ended
But
up
that was the one thing that made
cheaper.
them different.
Right.
And so when you are being like everyone else, then I'm gonna just go and mix you in with everybody else and say,
Right.
"Okay, well, I have to pay
Like,
for
well,
bags anyway. I might as well
mm,
just go."
right. Like that was your one saving grace. So,
I will tell you that, I do earn, Sky Miles, um, by buying Starbucks. I know that some people are boycotting it. Please.
Starbucks is terrible. Did you see that they had some of their folks on strike? They had them arrested.
Yes. Oh, no, I did not.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yep. I
well,
mean,
what
let's be
I
real.
was gonna say, don't worry about it then.
We have um I mean, all
Alaska
airlines are kind of
Airlines is
shite
pretty
in
nice.
general, but
Does
on like
Alaska
United, I
Airlines
get like
fly
free
everywhere?
Wi-Fi, so I get unlimited free Wi-Fi on United because I'm with T-Mobile. So,
I'm all about the things that you can earn. Not that Southwest had that, but there are other airlines that like say like, "Oh,
mhm.
you fly with us, then you get this. You fly with
Right.
us,
And there's different things out there, but
and you don't need necessarily
Southwest,
need their credit card. You
right?
just
Yeah.
you like you gain their points or whatever.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and yeah, so that's kind of a bummer for folks, but Southwest is they're gonna go under. There's no way they're not gonna be able to the amount of people that just have their credit cards, like they're not gonna be able to survive off of that. That's not gonna happen.
or
So
so it'll just be the privileged people that will just be
right.
like, "Yeah, I'm continuing with Southwest."
It's like, okay, well the rest of us are gonna go find other alternatives. So peace
Or
out.
if I see the cheapest price is not Southwest, I'm gonna be like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna go with this airline then."
Um, so
Yeah,
just a reminder for folks, we do not have a show next week. I will be in Tucson, which I'm very excited about because I get to see people like Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter and
I
eat
will
it,
not be in
and you
Tucson.
will not know. But I'm very excited for that. It's Wild Wild WestCon, and I'm assuming that we'll have everything done by then. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. I'll have everything done.
I think so. If
Yay.
I could throw out suggestions, I think instead
Uh-huh.
of like a guest book, you should have people tomorrow come in and sit at tables, and then they're like stoning your stuff.
So
And then,
So most of my stuff doesn't have stones on it, so that's not a problem.
oh,
I
what
know.
else needs to be done? We can create little tables
Right.
of
And
the
be like,
things
okay, I
that
need
need
you
to
to
be
finish
done.
this cosplay, and I need you to finish this cosplay. And most, a good chunk of my stuff is done. I have a few things here and there that I have to fix and tweak and stuff. My partner, not so much. She's got
Oh, so
more
we can
things to
put
do.
her stuff on a table,
Mm,
and then we
yeah.
say, "Okay, so if you brought a
She bit
sewing
off more than
machine,
she could
you could
chew
sit
on a couple
here.
things. I'm like, yeah.
If you brought a sewing machine, know how to use it, you can sit
Right.
here."
Right. 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 So
We'll
it's
just base the
fine.
seating chart on your abilities.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
I'm
fine.
very good
It'll
with
be
hot
fine.
glue.
So no show next Wednesday, but we'll be back the following Wednesday, and then I'll be able to update everybody on things. So
Yeah.
yay.
I'll just be sitting
Mhm.
here. That's don't worry. Don't worry.
So that being said, if you are in Tucson or if you are going to Wild Wild West Con, make sure that you get your tickets for the Tricks and Treats Dragon Burlesque show. It's going to be fantastic. I'm very excited
Mhm.
about it this year. It's a great theme. We've got some great entertainers. Um, so if you, and you can actually get tickets for the show without having tickets for the con.
Can you buy them at the
So
door?
if you, I think so. If we have any left over,
Mm.
yeah.
Last year you didn't
So
have any left over. We had to
no, we haven't.
most
We've
people
sold
to
out
go
every year,
away.
so we shall see. Um, we're in a bigger space this year, which I'm kind of excited about.
Oh,
Yeah,
lucky you. Anyway,
I know.
before you go to Tucson, you could go to the Drink Me Tea Room for trivia night, Broadway edition at Drink Me Tea Room. We have a couple of seats left, and that starts at 5:30 on Thursday.
And then on Saturday, April 5th, myself and a few other entertainers will be popping up some performances at the Southwest Love Fest block party. I'll be posting the flyer and stuff when I get the more permanent flyer when that happens, but that should be a fun time
I was about
too.
to ask you that because do I just take the one that's on the event? Can
Yes,
I
that's
post
fine.
that? Oh,
Yeah.
just put my picture on it. Just be like,
I don't,
I'm gonna
I
be
know
there.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I know I don't know. I don't,
I'll be
but
there. Yay.
that's not my
I
affiliate.
know.
So.
We know how this
Okay.
goes. We know how this goes. Cause yeah, we know how other things have gone.
Oh, yes,
Um,
they
and
have.
then so that's on the 5th, and then oh, you're adding something.
I am adding something, but I need to get the details real quick. So you look at the thing,
Okay,
and I'll let
so
you.
we're gonna jump around the calendar. So on the 5th of April is the Southwest Love Fest block party. Then on the 6th is going to be Magic at Stacy's. No cover, but if you want preferred seating, please make reservations online at Stacy's at melrose.com.
Um. So on 3/29, so March 29th,
Oh,
that's a
that's right.
Saturday. I always forget this is happening because you're apparently performing as well.
Yes.
Oh, they spelled my name wrong. So
They spelled your name wrong?
Yeah, of course they did. So the Empowerment Lab at ASU is doing a night of trans and non-binary joy, which is Saturday, March 29th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Changing Hands Bookstore in Phoenix. If you go to the Empowerment Lab ASU Instagram, there is a link for you to be able to register in their bio. And a bunch of us are performing. Myself, Ben Havoc, Felicia will be there. But it's just basically it's an all ages, family friendly event um, with some speakers and music and performances and stuff and things. So go check that out. We'll put more information as we get it.
Did they send you that? Because somebody tagged me in something today.
I didn't get it. I had to go hunting for it because someone asked me if I'd seen it, and I was like, no. And then I had to go hunting for it, and
Oh,
then I saw that they spelled my name wrong.
why? They can copy and paste off your Facebook,
I
off your Insta. Never
understand
mind.
this.
Anyway, so that's on the 29th of March. And then on the 12th of April, since we're bouncing around the calendar here,
It's fine.
uh, we'll be at Shea Cheese. Is this Shea Lounge or Shea Cheese? I still don't.
Shea Cheese Lounge.
I
Shea
see it
Cheese
both
and
ways, but
Lounge.
I don't know. Just look for Shea Cheese, and on their website, you can purchase tickets to the drag bingo. And at the same time, some of the proceeds go to Home Home for Good Rescue.
Yes, so that is also that. Yes, that will be benefiting something that's not just going into our pocket. Uh, um, and then on the 17th of April, we are back at Gracie's for sex trivia, which is always a fun evening.
And
So
I've
that
already had people asking me about it.
I know.
And so, since we're talking in general, and since some of the ladies that come to see me at bingo, shout out to the lady that told me that she's in accounting, and she brought four of her accounting friends to
Oh,
the bingo at Drink Me Tea Room.
oh,
Uh, so if you're listening, no, there is no reservations at Gracie's. First come, first serve, and it's usually packed.
yes, yes.
We even
So it's a good idea to come
surpassed some
early to be
people's
able to snag your
expectations the
seat.
last time.
Yeah,
So
yep.
let's surpass them again. That's fun.
I know.
Um,
All right,
yeah,
we have gone over
like 30 minutes.
again. I know,
But
and
we
we
had a
still have the
lot to
after
talk
show to do.
about. We had a lot to talk
I
about.
know we
Yeah.
had. I knew it was probably we were gonna end up going over with shit. So
So thank you for joining tonight's conversation. I hope you learned a lot of things, a lot of stuff about trans, non-binary, etc., etc. Thank you all who watch live and those that watch on the replay, and that continue to download our episodes on Spotify, Apple, whatever you choose to listen to us on. And we will see you not next week, but the week after, which will be the 26th, I believe. Um, that math is
I think
correct, I
that's right.
think. If it's not, well, you follow us. Most of you do. We will see you later, and good
Good night.
night.